This is a video for a Jaguar X-Type. Car is registered OV07FYF. Mileage at the start of this brief road test is 27,987 miles. Reason we do these road tests now is because we're selling basically to people from all over the near continent and the extremes of the UK as well, and we feel it's right that if people are willing to invest time and money and energy to come and see us, the least we can then do is to let you know if there's any issues with the car prior to you coming, and you can actually see the car you're looking to invest your money in operation. What I try and do on these videos, as far as I possibly can, is to mimic kind of what you'll do yourself on road test, and that is to go through them in a kind of order for you. The place to start with is always obviously with the engine. This particular example, engine starts absolutely on the button. It settles to a very, very smooth, very quiet idle, very even. There's no lumps in the power delivery. It's a very, very smooth and quiet engine. Obviously with such a low mileage you'd expect it to be, but it's just, you know, worth pointing it out. It's incredibly smooth, very punchy. Obviously a lot of horsepower. It's not lost any power in the low miles it's done. Turbo makes no noises. There's no whistles or groans from under the bonnet at all. It really is in fine order. The engine obviously then drives through clutch and gearbox. Clutch is light as a feather, bites absolutely beautifully, exactly the right point on the clutch pedal. There's no squeaks or clicks from the clutch pedal when it's engaged or disengaged, and there's no discernible change in engine notes or noise either when the clutch is in or out. Gearbox itself, really lovely gear change on these cars. It's very smooth, lovely slick synchromesh. Every gear engages absolutely beautifully, and the gear linkage, again, given the low mileage, is in really, really fine order indeed. But it all comes together as a lovely kind of combination. It's a really nice powertrain actually. You know, we've had a few of these and sold quite a lot of them, and they do deliver very, very good economy, but very easily. Some cars you've got to kind of nurture to get the economy. This one just, you know, gives its economy, you know, relatively easily. It's a very torquey engine. I'm in fourth gear now at 30 miles an hour, and the engine's not fluffing or struggling or, you know, protesting in any way at all. Coming to the brakes of the car, brakes are lovely and positive, right at the top of the pedal, not over servoed, which is a kind of pet hate of mine. It's a really nice brake pedal on the car. I can't detect any distortion in the brake pedal in terms of kind of, you know, there's no so, you know, when you hit the brake pedal sometimes you can feel a bit of pulsing, and that suggests that there might be a little bit of wear in the system in the brakes, but there's nothing there at all. The steering is, again, it's a lovely steering system. It's very, very smooth in operation, very precise. It really does give very accurate direction changes, and, you know, again, as with everything else so far on the car, I can't realistically detect, you know, a hint of wear in it at all. You know, again, what I'm looking for is when I go over potholes like that, it's just kind of little aftershocks, little resonances that might sort of filter through, which might suggest that you've got a bit of a, you know, play in a track rod end or a ball joint or something, but there is nothing at all. Likewise, the suspension, which is obviously Jaguar's forte really. I mean, it's a beautiful riding car, incredibly smooth, very, very quiet through the suspension as well. It's only when you hit potholes or others that you really notice any noise from the suspension. It is, you know, very quiet and smooth the way it goes about its business. You know, to get from A to B, there's, you know, very, very few cars that sort of can do it as quietly or as nicely as this one. Coming to the interior of the car, I mean, this should follow on in time from a walk around video of the car as well, which goes into kind of the, you know, the condition of the vehicle, but it's in lovely order in here. You know, it really is, you know, in a world of black plastics and, you know, just normal cars, if you like. It is really nice to get into a car like this, where, you know, it's traditional luxury. It's very nicely done. Everything I touch in here has that feel of a, you know, really lovely low mileage car. You know, all the plastics, all the inserts and inlays are in really top order. All the gauges work absolutely perfectly. Looking at the dashboard now, you know, it's a really lovely dashboard. I mean, it's, again, the dials, you know, are kind of very traditional Jaguar, and all the better for it. But there's no warning lights on the car at all. Temperature gauge is reading exactly where you'd want it to, about a sort of a third or a quarter of the way up the gauge itself. And as I said, there's no warning lights, you know, on the vehicle at all. The whole car, in fairness, does drive really beautifully, but every single button I've pressed thus far, I've got the air conditioning on. It's a lovely warm spring day, that's blowing out lovely cold air, so it's obviously got a really nicely charged air conditioning system on the car. But as I said, every button I've pressed has operated perfectly, but it really does drive really very, very nicely indeed. Try not to knock the dog walkers over if I can possibly help it. It's quite amazing just how low you can rev the vehicle in any gear, and with the engine is just, you know, able to pull from such low revs. I mean, we sell the Accords, Honda Accords, quite a lot of them, and you do have to have a few more revs on board, and you know, you get very good economy out of those as well, but you do have to sort of be a bit more careful in the way you drive. This one, I can see why the economy is so easy. It's just so tractable from such, you know, ridiculously low revs, you know, just above 1,000 RPM. And it's pulling really sweetly and really nicely. But all in all, I said, you know, if the whole purpose of this short road test is really just to say, give reassurance to those who may be coming a fair distance that the car drives as it should, and it certainly does that. But more than that, it drives absolutely beautifully. It's a true joy to drive. Now we've moved to our new premises just outside Bristol. Access to us is so much easier, but test drive is on, actually, in fairness, slightly bigger roads than this. This is going back towards my house and doing this on the way home. And you know, the roads you're going to be driving on will be very quiet, and you'll be able to sort of, you know, test the car as you'd hope to. Whereas previously, remember, in the heart of Bristol, it was always a bit frustrating for us and for our customers, in all honesty, that, you know, most of your road test would be on in sort of heavy traffic, which was the nature of the beast down there. But the new site affords a much more relaxed and stress-free test drive of a vehicle. So, but yeah, really, really nice car, top condition. As I said, obviously, if there's anything I've missed out on this road test, then, you know, please don't hesitate to give us a call, and I'll answer any questions that you may have.